Paul Adams at Lure the Lakes is located in Princeton. What a great place to be. It's got lots of lakes to choose from, and they're very productive lakes, which means there's some big fish. Now, some of the lakes are located right by the highway. Some, though, you have to find different means to get into. ATV, or like today, we're taking the horses into one of his little gems. Brian's going to be along to tell you where you can find more information on BC lakes. Don, of course, is going to be tying a fly in the bench. And on the technology, I'm going to show you what we've learned the last couple of years about knots. Horseback riding at Lure the Lakes, that's today, as we take you sport fishing on the fly.
Oh, what we do for fishing, unbelievable. As you can see, yes, it did. It snowed all night, but you know the nice thing about coming here to Lure the Lakes is you get the advantage. Going in ATVs if you like, you got the horseback, we got everything to pick from. So today, we're going to go in with horseback to a nice pretty little lake here in the outback. And hopefully, the weather's going to clear for us, but the horse is all ready to go, so let's get on our way.
Wow, you know, Paul called it Lure the Lakes. What a perfect name for a company that he's got here, because it is the lure of the lakes here and the big fish. And look at the size of this guy here. Oh, is that a big slab of meat or what? Oh, don't go back that way. Too many anchor ropes there. Well, it's about, I think it's warmed up. I think it's about 1 degree out right now, up from 0 when we first started. And the water temperature is down. It's about 46 degrees. Starting to see some chironomid activity. And well, we're just fishing leeches here. I got my Type 6 full sinking line on, running about 6 feet a leader, and one of the green leeches on, and that picked this guy up here. He might be ready. Maybe not quite yet. Heavy fish. But yeah, what a perfect name, Lure of the Lakes. And who came in the snow. But you know, as long as you're bundled up, it's worth it. You know, we've got the neoprenes on today, keeping us nice and warm, layered up. Only part that's cold are the hands. This guy's going back by the anchor rope. So I'll pull him back up. I think he's got him just about ready. Big fish though, wow. Well, another one of the little jewels, the many jewels that Paul can take you into up here in the Princeton area. If you come in the beginning of June, well, expect anything for weather, because we're definitely getting everything for weather. But it's starting to lighten up, you know, we're really confident. We came in the lake, saw a couple of chironomids coming off, and it's starting to lighten up. Oh, he don't fit. I want to break my rod here too. Don't kick up here. Doesn't fit in this net. Oh. Is that a big fish or what? Holy cow. Okay, first things first. Find the fly, which just came out. And it's in my net. I'd like to clear it if I could. There, the fly, the green leech. Turn around here and show you this This is what you come for here. Whoa. Oh no. Well, I guess we don't get the real good look at him. He was too big. I don't know how big he was, but wow, that's all I can say. Lure the lakes. You need to come up here and give Paul a call. He'll bring you into these beautiful little lakes. That guy's long gone, and I know Don, he was getting bumped steady, and so I came over. Go with local knowledge. We had a little bit of local knowledge. He was getting the good bumps, so I slid right over and beside him, and landed that guy. Wow, you know, it's going to be a great day. You know what the best part of this day? At the end of the day, we're going to have a great meal too. So, time to get back at it.
Oh, wow. Boy, we're getting all sorts of, whoa! Good action, good airtime. I guess this would be considered one of the little guys for in here. I mean, this is a pound-and-a-half fish or so. Real nice fish, great scrappy fighting fish. And we've hit everything. I mean, I cast over here, saw fish first thing in the morning, kicked over here. Paul said, hey, this is a great little area, anchor up in here. Of course, guide knowledge, local knowledge, very important. So I did. Saw a big lunker cruise by. I thought, oh, gee, they're moving through this slot in the marl. It goes from a real deep slot into a nice shallow area, and the fish were moving through there. So first cast, snapped one off. Second cast, snapped another. Ooh, there he goes, barbel's hook, great way for release. Second fish, snapped them off. So being the brilliant guy I am, I decided to go with a heavier pound test. So I moved to 5-pound test fluoro, and see it's been working quite good. And we picked up that little guy. And I'm using a purple blood leech right now, this guy here. Working real well. It's one of Brent's blood leeches, we call it. Got a little sparkle tail, real nice color for leeches, and obviously it's working today. So I'll take a few more casts and we get something else.
Fly fishers approaching a new lake have a lot of resources available to them to try to narrow down their odds and increase their chances of catching some fish or being successful. One good website to check out is the provincial government's fisheries site called bcfisheries.gov.bc.ca. Once you enter that site, you're able to download or view contour maps of lakes, find out water chemistry information about those lakes, and also find out stocking rates. When you have the opportunity to find a contour map of a lake, that allows you to check out where the shoal or littoral zones of the lake are, which are the productive zones, or where, as a fly fisher, you want to spend your time. You take a look at the stocking records to find out what species or strains of fish are being put in, the kinds of numbers that are put in each year, and then check the regulations to see what the specific regulations are on that lake. If there are limited kill or harvest or no harvest, or bait bans or single barbless hook restrictions, then you know those lakes are being managed as quality fisheries, and that'll give you an idea of the relative size of fish you expect to catch. There's also lots of good books and videos written out there that'll help you narrow down the information sources that you need.
It's funny though, you know, what we've picked up so far is we're getting hits. If I bring it in a little higher, I seem to be getting a few smaller ones. Grant's got a full sink line on. He's right on the bottom. He's getting all the big guys right now. He's hooked up a couple of dandies, so that could be the big difference. Being the difference between the smaller guys feeding up a little higher and the prime big guys getting the best spots down in the weed where all the bugs are. A nice slow hand twist retrieve or little pulls. I'm just using short little pulls. Give that fly a little motion. We've got it tied with a loop knot, so the fly will actually undulate a little bit in the water. And it's always when the fly's coming up. You know, you cast your line out, gets a little belly and sinks this way. It's always when the fly is just coming up off that shoal that we've been getting the hits. Oh, right like that. Right at the last minute. Come on.
Oh, just like that. Well, we got to see him at least. It took forever to get the camera going. You see it's snowing out still, but it is so cool because every cast you got a chance. When you get right in the zone, you know you're just pulling and stripping. A big piece of meat like that's gonna grab the end of your fly. I think what the difference is right now, because I seem to be hooking up all the bigger fish, Don seems to be hooking up the smaller fish, I think it's because I got the Type 6 line on. I'm not letting it sink too long before I start stripping it. When it comes into that zone, it's right on the bottom. So every cast, I either get a fish like that one on, or I end up getting weeds. Well, last time I was a fish, that was a good thing. So I know if I don't get it, I get weeds, and I'm right on the bottom. Seems to be where the big fish are.
Today on the bench, we're going to tie you up the seal bugger. Now, one main ingredient in this fly is the seal fur, but another main material need is this burnt orange hackle. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we're going to use a Mustad R74 size 8. We'll tie with some 8/0 olive thread. For the weight, we'll use some .015 lead, some black marabou for the tail, some medium copper wire as the ribbing, some green seal dubbing as the body, and a burnt orange grizzly hackle for the hackle. First thing we want to do is add a little weight to the fly. So I'm going to take my .015 lead and just wrap it around the hook, just so the hook is fully covered with thin lead wire. Take your green thread and tie it in and cover up the lead wire so that it doesn't move on your hook. Take some black marabou, measure it up the length of your hook, move it to the back and tie it in for the tail. Take some copper wire, some medium copper wire, and wrap it in at the butt, and this will be used for the ribbing later. Now I'm going to take a burnt orange grizzly saddle hackle and tie it in by the tip, and it's very important that you tie this in by the tip, and this will be used to hackle our body a little later. Take some seal fur and now start dubbing in a nice thin body. Again, this is imitating damsels, small dragons, things like that. You want to keep the body fairly thin. So dub it in fairly small and thin, and then wrap forward to form the body. Now that the body's tied in, I'm going to take my medium copper wire and slowly wrap 4 to 5 turns up the body. With the body tied in, I'm now going to take my burnt orange hackle and make 4 turns up the body, no more than 4 turns. 3, 4, and once I hit the top of the fly, I'm just going to wrap in the excess and form a nice bushy head. The hackle's all wrapped up to the head. Now what I'm going to do, trim off my excess and just wrap a green head on this fly. Wrap quite a bit of thread around the eyelet just to form a nice green head. And there you have it, the finished green seal bugger. You know, this pattern works exceptionally well during the spring and the fall, but really imitates small dragons and damselflies. Oh, what? There's another guy off the shoal. Boy, you know, whoa, yeah, they are good scrappy fish in here. Oh, man, he did some great area stuff. Oh, just unbelievable. Again, one of the smaller ones, but boy, you just snapped off the big one. Greg just snapped off a huge whale. Oh, and you know, the nice thing about it is, you just never know. There you go. Oh my God, gone. You never know when you're going to get a big one. You know, it's every cast of anticipation, and we're getting almost a hit a cast right now. And look at the weather. It's snowing out here. I love it. This is what fishing's all about. Too, you know, you had a couple of bumps on the crawny. We've actually, Granny was scoping for you, saying, oh, look at, he's coming right over, he's coming towards your crawny, and then, oh, we passed it up, and then, oh, then another one will go by and get a hit. Look at the size of these. I mean, there's some nice fish starting to move in here now, and it's getting pretty late, but I don't know.
We're staying.
We're staying. Granny says we're staying. Well, I mean, what's more fun than chronometering, too? You know, if they start coming on the chronometer right here in water that we can see, you're not going to beat that.
It's excitement, yeah. We do everything from regular boats to what I'm in, float tubes, and during the winter into ice fishing. We do dog sledding, we've got skidoo tours going. We basically any outdoor adventure activity, we're into it.
Now this is all Lure the Lakes, or is that
Lure
just
the
your...
Lakes and Black Mine Outfitters.
Black Mine Outfitters.
We work in conjunction with each other, and yeah, my partner Bill Lindley is very knowledgeable about the area, can take you into some amazing spots. way up into the alpine in the high country to some spectacular places in the valleys. So we have a full array of outdoor adventure packages for people, and come to Princeton.
Yeah, beautiful. But incredible, you know, we're out here this morning and it's just snow everywhere. Well, yeah, everybody saw it. I mean, we came in on probably 6 inches of snow. Now it's getting a little later and it's starting to clear.
Starting to melt. Yeah.
Oh, that's a dandy. That is nice. That's a nice thing about this area too. From Princeton to Merritt, you've got hundreds, literally hundreds of lakes to pick from. Oh, there he is.
There he goes.
And we're right in between. We've gone kind of in between Princeton and Merritt on the old highway.
That's right.
And take your pick. We've gone up one road, and there's probably about 15 to 20 lakes on each one of these roads, depending on how far up you want to go.
I have about 40 lakes on my guiding list, but in
40?
Area, in 40 on my list. In the area, there's about 100.
Beautiful.
And there we go.
All right.
This is a little acetate fly.
The last take chronomet,
Yeah, it's tied.
which we've tied on the bench before. And now we'll show everybody the fish. That's a nice healthy bow.
And I did it again.
Okay, well, no, we're not going to show everybody the fish. We've been good at that. Grant's done that once today. And
2 in a row I've done
that a couple times.
They're cruising now, though. So
Hey,
release another one.
That's right. Let's get back in action. You know what? There's chronomets coming off. Dinner's gonna have to wait, I'm afraid. But there's our chef right there, so it really doesn't matter.
Today in the technology, I want to share with you some information that we've learned over the last couple of years when we've been sitting at trade shows. It's regards to knots. There's 2 main issues that you need to concern yourself with in order to have your knots perform the best they possibly can. Well, what we did was we took some 10-pound test and we tied a knot and we put it into this knot testing machine. And the way it worked was it slowly pulled your line, and if the knot broke before it got to 10 pounds or came apart before 10 pounds, you knew it was your knot that was the issue. If it lasted to 10 pounds or beyond, well, you know your knot held as best it could. Well, there's 2 key things that I came up with in testing for days and days, and one was making sure you lubricate the line. I guess what happens if you don't lubricate it, when you pull it tight, it probably stresses the line, and anytime you put stress on the line, you're going to weaken it, and that's where it's going to break. So what I've done here is I've just taken a straight fisherman's knot, and all I'm going to do before I cinch it down is I'm just going to lubricate it really good, put it through. Now that I've lubed it up, I'm going to slowly tighten the knot down, and this leads me to the next point that we learned, which is very important, and that is don't pull the knot too tight. What happens if you pull the knot too tight, what you're going to notice is right there, right in front of the very last little loop around, that's the point at which the line gets stressed. If you pull it too hard beyond the 10-pound test that the line is made for, you're going to put stress on the knot right there, and it's going to fail before 10 pounds. So, you know what, I tried this with so many different knots. I first tried with a fisherman's knot like this one here, and as long as I lubed it, as long as I just cinched it down nice and easy, it would continuously hold to beyond 10 pounds. So I thought, well, I'll try some different knots. I tried improved cinch. I tried a loop knot. I tried some other creative knots. And you know what, as long as I cinched them down nice and easy, as long as I lubricated them, I didn't find any one knot to be any better than another knot. In fact, with this fisherman's knot, I tried only wrapping around twice. Normally you have to go around 5 times. They say you should go 5 times. I only went around twice, and I found that I could get it to consistently hold to 10 pounds as long as I lubricated it and didn't pull it too tight. So the type of knot that you tie, not always that important. Although, you know, like we're using today, we're using a loop knot, and sometimes you want the fly to be able to dangle. But as far as it being able to hold together with your line, just make sure you lubricate it. Don't pull it too tight. You're going to be more successful in tying your knots.
Well, you know, the nicest thing about coming out with Paul is you get the gourmet dinner after. Remember, when you're out here, take care, conserve our waters. And I also want to thank everybody for helping out. Great job, guys. Turned out perfect. See you next time. We take you sport fishing on the fly.